broadcasting today because I've just been watching some of the speech from the Let Women Speak, I should say, at in Canberra. It's interesting that it happens to be raining in Canberra. Not a surprise to any of us who know Canberra at all, but it is, and so it's kind of raining on their parade to some extent as well. Now, I am open-minded about any conversations that people may have about sexuality and about the way that that is impacting our community and impacts individuals. But I am a wee bit lost on this particular argument about trans people and how that particularly is affecting the community. It appears, if you listen to these people, that we're confronted with a pandemic which says that all our children are being influenced by parents who believe that children can choose the sex that they want to choose, as opposed to their belief, which is that you're born male or female, and that as a result of that, you must behave according to the script that they have defined as to what male and female looks like. I think we can tend to lose the sight of the fact that today, in not only Australia, but in many countries around the world, if not all, or certainly not all, that people are tending to want to think about how they want to live their lives in terms of how they want their bodies to be shaped. And there are many people who might choose body modification, for example, as a way of expressing how they wish their bodies to be. And there are people that do some strange and I think very bizarre things to their bodies in order to make them appear completely different from what we would be accustomed to. But this particular debate worries me because it seems to be about a woman at the moment whose name is Posse Parker or Kerry Lee Keynes or whatever she calls herself. And she's waging this war against what I think is a fear that she has and a fear that women have, that women may be losing their identity to this other group of people, which may be men who want to see themselves as women and women who want to see themselves as men. And there is a distinct issue around whether or not people should, at very early ages, have transition into the other sex, and whether hormones or whatever treatment they have is helpful to them, and whether or not they have the psychological ability to be able to comprehend what it is that they are doing to their bodies and how that may impact on later. I know that there are stories around, I haven't read any specifically, but there are stories where people have regretted some of the decisions that they've made about changing the actual physical shape of their bodies, and obviously irreversible. So where does this lead us? Does it really lead us down the path whereby we're wondering whether this has become an endemic problem that we all need to deal with, or is this simply I'm trying to remember the phraseology now, a storm in a teacup? Is that all that this is? Because I think that's all that it is. Now, a lot of people make changes about and make decisions about how they want themselves to be and what's helpful to them, whether they be gay or trans or whatever, throughout their lives. And some people reverse those decisions later on in life as adults. But a lot of people, particularly, I guess, adolescents and teenagers, are now a little bit more freer to decide how it is they wish to be, how do they wish to lead their lives, where they feel comfortable within the body that they are given. And it's their right, I believe, to be able to make decisions about how they want to live it. And there needs to be, we've gone through decades, hundreds of years perhaps, where gay people felt uncomfortable identifying themselves simply as gay, and where we wrestled for many years with same-sex relationships and eventually passed legislation in relation to same-sex marriages. So this is a battle that has continued. And I think we're kind of into this other phase now where we're looking at people who want to make significant decisions about how they want their body to be. Now, I think that this is something that we're not being now made aware of, and I guess that's a good thing. I kind of celebrate the fact that there is this discussion going on, and Potsy Parker and her crew are travelling the world, expanding on these ideas, and there's a number of people who clearly support them. I do want to raise the fact, though, I think that she's making a heap of money from this as well, and that should not go. That certainly should be mentioned. Just go to her live feeds, and there's people contributing $20, $30 and whatever, and so she's clearly doing this and financially gaining from it as well. And obviously she believes in it, so be it. But do we need to? But I was interested in Pauline Hanson's take on this. And so I'm going to play this clip, which is not very long, I guess, but it is about Pauline Hanson talking about this particular issue. And it's quite evident she's got no bloody idea what she's talking about, which is kind of like what she's like with most things. But she has got no real concept as to what these issues are really about. But she's there because it's anti-establishment, gives her a chance to have a shot at Parliament and government in general, because she believes that more people should be voting for her, so she has the balance of power. So her screwed up ideas about a no vote for Aboriginals, about white supremacy and about narcissism and all that other stuff that sits on the right of politics, which is Pauline Hanson, that can be exerted into our mainstream a little bit more than what it has. And so she's talking at this rally about things which I think are, in my view, are an absolute waste of space. So I'll just see if I can play this, see how we go.
And congratulations to all of you women and men that are here today that are standing up for the same.
She's a bit soft, but that's not me.
It is so important that we fight for our rights. We are women. We are biologically born as women. And I agree with everything that Kelly has said.
I just need to say that there's one thing Pauline does not understand is people wanting to fight for their rights. As she would be the first to denigrate others, to put others down who are not white, who think differently to her. And as a result of that sort of stuff, I basically think that she's just a dangerous individual.
This place has no idea. Many times that my Senate colleague, Malcolm Roberts, has actually moved motions on the floor of Parliament. They won't even allow a Senate inquiry into puberty blockers. They voted against it. Even for children, we put up a motion for them to stop having these operations under 18 years of age. Not interested, voted against it. They're not listening to the people. They don't want to have inquiries. They don't.
I actually think, Pauline, most people don't kind of care, and it isn't as extraordinarily broad-based as what you would tend to want people to believe. I'm not suggesting that it doesn't happen. I haven't got enough information to determine whether or not medically it is correct or not. I'm pretty sure you don't either.
I want to find out the truth. This has been pushed by these lefties, and you're so right. Why should we compete with trans? They are not women. They chose. Fine. If you chose your sex, go and do it. But don't impose it on other people and take away our rights. It's like when you play for sports.
Take away. That's interesting comment. I want to take away our rights. Whose rights are they taking away? And this is what I put in my description, is that I'm a bit concerned about the fact that they think they're losing something by these other people wanting to be women. And I wonder what it is they think that they're losing. They can still have babies and have orgasms and do the other stuff that women obviously think are important. So what is it that they're afraid that they're going to be losing by people wanting to transition?
How can you compete against the trans if you're a woman? It's totally different. They can do whatever they want to do, but at the end of the day, they were born either male or female, and that's the way it is. You cannot change that. They can't have babies. Women are given the role as being as giving babies. Women have been given the role to carry that child in their womb. Women have given that right, and they want to take away your right.
They don't. See, this is it. I might just... Oh, there was a bit here later on where she blew up at... I'll just see if I can find it. There is a... there is this fear, I think, that somehow they're going to be losing something. And this is what confuses me. I don't know what it is that these women think that they're going to be losing. I don't... You know, them, Pauline and Posse and others aren't necessarily going to lose their sense of who they are, because it seems to be pretty well defined anyway. Are they concerned about kids losing their rights? Well, you know, I'm an expert in child protection, and I can tell you right now, lots of kids lose their rights as well as the parents. But I don't see them jumping up and down about those issues as much as they are about this one. So where do they sit around issues around child protection and kids being abused while in care? Don't hear anything from them whatsoever about any of that. But this other issue, because they think that they're personally losing something, becomes significant. I'll just play the end bit of this.
You know, everyone's confused. People are confused. They don't understand. People are confused. They don't know.
You're confused,
where they
Pauline.
stand,
You are really confused.
male or female. But I will end on the fact that because of this woman and her efforts, and if you know my political career, I have had rallies around Australia when I was actually tried to be lambasted by the media, by protesters, people who came to see me speak. That's why I came out today. Woman. And until...
All right, we've heard enough of Pauline's victimhood, so we will move on. So I'd be interested to know what you might think about this issue in terms of, you know, being a woman and whether or not you're going to lose your womanhood simply because these people choose to transition. So what do you think? Do you think this has merit or not? Let me know in the comments below, and I do urge you to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notifications. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the month, and I know that you would help me to get there. So keep tuned, take care, and more importantly, everybody, look after yourselves.